Welcome to Machines and More. So, yep, it's here. It's the Noctua D15 Gen 2, or G2 as they're calling it, just like we saw at Computex a few weeks ago. Big thanks to Noctua for sending this by. I usually don't do this type of unboxing or preview video, if you will, but I can't wait to show you the cooler. It feels like Christmas morning, except Christmas last happened, like 10 years ago, right? And so, and it was supposed to happen 2 years ago, and didn't happen. It was supposed to happen last year, and then didn't happen, and then boom, it is finally here. And I will have a full review of this cooler happening very soon. I will test it out properly, but I really want to show you what it looks like. So let's just dig in. Let's take a look at the accessories later. Gotta get to the good stuff, right? And we'll pull this guy out, because usually these things are meant to come out this way. All right. Whee! Here we go. Look at that. This is it, fellas. This is the... Oh, it comes with this ring. So cool. All right. All right. Now it spins freely. That is a cool looking fan. So yeah, this is the D15 G2, as they're calling it, the Gen 2. It's a huge cooler. The new A14 by 25. This is the R version, so it's the round version. Hey, if you like Noctua, make sure you give a like. It really helps out the channel. But thanks in advance for doing that. Let me just pop this off. The new A14 by 25R. And the new, this is the so-called next gen 140 millimeter fan that everyone's been waiting for. Well, everyone that is patient enough. Okay. It does have 9 of these blades that kind of have a kink in it. It's not like a smooth curve there. See, it's kind of angles off like that. It's a very neat design. So the square version of this fan, with the square frame anyway, is gonna come up soon, and they're still working on producing those, but center portion is gonna be the same. Let's take a look at the heatsink here. Really cool to be seeing. So you really got a ton of heat pipes. 8 heat pipes, 8 dual loop heat pipes here. And it's got this cutaway right here on both sides for a clearance. Your default orientation is going to be with the Noctua logo on the left side. So this is the side that's going to cover your rear I/O, or be close to your rear I/O, depending on what kind of board you're using. And this will be your mostly your RAM side. Some boards do have RAM on this side, of course. And then this fan usually would go right here, and that'll depend on whether or not you have clearance. The height actually for the final assembly will depend on your height of your RAM, because this one usually overlaps the RAM. So if your RAM is too tall, it's going to force the fan to have to push up a little bit. So I did do a quick measurement already, and the tallest point of the heatsink does measure in at 165 millimeters. So likely that spec is to give a little bit more leeway for the outboard fan. So you should be able to fit this with the clearance as low as 165, assuming you have low enough RAM. This is a big base plate here. Really neat looking. You got those 8 heat pipes. So the version I have here, this one anyway, is the standard version. I've also got the HBC, which is the high base convexity version, and that's going to be more suitable for your LTA 1700 or your Intel 12, 13, 14th gen CPUs. And this one, the standard one, is going to be best for AM5 when you use the offset. There's also a low base convexity version, and that's going to be for AM5 when you don't use the offset mount. And we're going to be testing with the offset mount. I think most of you will want to use the offset mount. The D15 was one that tested out very well with the offset mount when I did my comparison testing with the 7700X, and we'll be sure to test that out with the offset mount here. Take a look at the center fan. So it's the same setup here. It's got this little ring here, kind of neat, keeps it from spinning around. Packaging is definitely a little bit more elaborate compared to the D15 from what I remember. These fan clips are different because they don't hook into the fan hole. It's kind of like this protrusion, and that stays in place. So it actually will pop out very easily when it's not under tension. Inside the accessories box, you do have these shims. This is going to be for an Intel install, and that's going to be improving the contact quality for the LGA 1700 IHS. And of course, this is completely optional. When I saw their results at Computex, they were quite promising. So I think, assuming you're willing to do a little bit of modification, this should be pretty important. Intel parts. These will hook into the backplate to make it work for either LGA 1700, 1200, 11.5X, whatever it is. And your Intel mounting bars. Okay. And one cool thing they're including with all these is the thermal paste guard. I love these for AM5. Now, if you're getting this for Intel, then you won't use this, but you know, give it to a friend. This is nice because it covers the side of the IHS up so that if you have thermal paste that squeezes out, it won't end up in the ridges and be hard to clean up. So this is really useful. You got your AM5 hardware. This is the offset mounting hardware, so you'll choose whether you want the no offset or -7mm offset. Most of you with AM5 CPUs will go for the -7, assuming that is you have space on your motherboard for that. I recall I first saw this Torx screwdriver on their NHP one, the passive cooler, and because the new mount will not be a Phillips head, it will be Torx. They're giving you one of these really nice Torx screwdrivers. So, Noctua Brown. NTH2 thermal paste. This is their highest performing paste right now. Always got that owl badge. You stick on the outside of your build, or put on your bumper if you want. Splitter cable, and you've got 2 low noise adapters, and you need 2 of these, one for each end if you want to throttle down the fans without having to set a fan curve in BIOS. This is a wipe for your CPU. If you're doing a remount, or you've got thermal paste and you want to clean it off, do a repaste, this is what you'll use. Under here, it's going to be where that backplate is hiding. So this is the Intel backplate that you'll use in conjunction with these guys here. So this will slot into the holes depending on what you're setting up for, and these black washers will just go over that. So retail availability should be right now. I believe you can go and get one on their usual retail channels. I think the MSRP is $150, so definitely a pricey piece of kit, but if you're the type of user that this is typically targeted to, I think you're comparing against 240, 280 AIOs, right? We'll see just how well it performs, but if you figure liquid cooler is going to run you that much, and you have the simplicity of air coolers here, then this could be a no-brainer if you're looking for every last ounce of performance, and you're definitely getting that with Noctua usually. So stay tuned for the full review. I will have that coming up soon with the HBC and the standard version here. We'll be testing at AM5 and also LGA 1700, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Make sure you're subscribed to get updates on all the content here. And yeah, go check this out. Big thanks to Noctua for sending this by so quickly so we can get a glimpse of this already, and I hope you enjoyed the preview. Big thanks for watching today.